Hola, amiguita. This is Jesse. I'm just gonna do a video. Okay, so this is the wheatgrass right here, and it comes in a bag like this. I buy it in a pretty big bag initially. This is like at the end of the bag, but it looks a little bit like rice, like maybe brown rice. And it's always under the category of wheatgrass. So let me see if I can show you a handful of it. Okay, there's a handful of it. What I do is you could start with a cup. The thing with this is it's kind of an investment. You have to spend some money on it because you have to buy the trays and you have to have good dirt. You know, you have to try and get some good dirt somewhere, so you can either buy that at Home Depot, but and then it's this continuous thing because you start with you start with with some dirt, but then after you make the wheatgrass, you have to get rid of the dirt. So you're constantly going through dirt. We end up just using dirt that we have on the property. We have an area of the property, it's kind of low land, and we have some good quality soil that we get out of that. So we just use that. And the trays, I ended up making my own trays. You start with the wheatgrass, and you put the wheatgrass inside of water. Let's say you start with a cup. That's pretty standard. You're going to start with a cup of wheatgrass, and then you're going to want to put it in water. Probably like if you have like a mason jar, or like if you ever buy coconut oil, those are typically good jars to use. They have wide mouth, and this is what I use right here. You see this cup? This is kind of like, see, it's got a wide mouth and stuff. This is perfect for wheatgrass. And then I take a piece of this material right here, and I put that over the cup. And then I take some rubber bands and I put it around there. So you got the cup of wheatgrass in here, you fill it up with water, you let it sit in there for 8 hours. And then after 8 hours, you're going to dump the water out, and you're going to rinse it with clean water, and then you're going to dump the water out again, and you're going to leave this cup with the wheatgrass upside down, just like this, or maybe at an angle like this, like in your sink or something, right? So it's going to have the wheatgrass inside. This is going to have a rubber band around it, right? It's going to be nice and tight, and then you're going to let it basically drain, okay? But the wheatgrass is going to be wet, and you're going to do that every 12 hours. You're going to rinse it and then put it upside down every 12 hours, and you're going to do that probably 2 times or 3 times before it's ready to put in the soil itself. And you're basically waiting till they have these little nubs. You're gonna wait until they have these little, you can actually see some of it right here. You see how it has those little tails? You have the little seed, but then you have the little tails that come out. As soon as you have that situation, they're ready to be planted. Okay, you put them in the soil. So you don't want to wait too long, because if you wait too long, then what's going to happen is that the roots are going to get enmeshed with each other. They're going to get like, it's going to become like, it's going to be almost impossible to take out of the glass, or take out, if you have it in a plastic cup, you're going to have to cut the plastic cup just to get the stuff out. So the timing is kind of crucial. As soon as you see, like, maybe a 1/4 of an inch of a tail, 1/4 of an inch or a little bit less. As soon as you see that little white tail, and you can look at it and say, oh, that's a tail. That's the root coming out of the seed, and it's already germinated and it's ready to go. It's ready to put in the soil. So, and then these are the trays that I made myself. That's probably going to be something not particularly easy for you to do, I would imagine, but you're going to want a tray that's about 1 inch deep like this. I ended up making the trays because it was cheaper and I had more control, and I just liked the idea of making my own trays. It's just a lot easier to deal with. These trays, I took a black plastic from a garbage bag, and I lined it, and then I stapled it all over here. All of this is stapled down. It's stapled all across here and stuff. So, and then the framing is just from some pallet wood, you know, some pallets that I broke down, and that's where the framing came from. You know, I mean, obviously that requires tools. You have to have the tools to cut the wood to the right size, and you know, and it's not a particularly easy process. So what you would have to do is buy the trays. You could order them through like Amazon or whatever. I just found that they were a little bit too expensive. Like one tray was like over $1, and for some people that might be worth it, but I also wanted something that was custom because I built the shelving system, and the shelving system, you know, like this, I was able to control the length, you know, based on the shelving that I had. So that's kind of why I did it that way, just to have a little more control. And I have different types of trays. I have trays that are bigger and stuff like that. So anyway, that's basically it. So then these are the different stages. You know, this is like almost ready to harvest. You probably want it to get a little bit taller than this. Then this is, and then I do it every 2 days. So every 2 or 3 days I'm starting a new tray, and that way when I harvest this, I'll go through this, and then by the time I'm done with this, I'm ready to harvest this, and then by the time I'm done with this, this will be ready to harvest. By the time I'm done with this, this will be ready to harvest, and so on and so forth. So that's the way I staggered it. What else is there to tell you? Then you have the juicer. I ended up buying a juicer, like it's what they call a masticating juicer, which is a press. It's a cold press, and you could do it in the blender. I've seen people that do it in the blender, but it's just easier and better. You get more of the juice out if you have a masticating juicer. So, you know, I made an investment in one. I ended up giving it recently to Francisco because Francisco is giving it to Paulita, and so on and so forth. So they are using it supposedly, and they're benefiting from it. I have a Vita mixer. The Vita Mix is going to do the job pretty well. It's like a blender, but it's a really powerful blender, and it'll take out most of the juice, and then whatever, it's pretty much the same. So and you only drink a shot. You know, you start off with a shot, and they say you know, like if you want to increase, you do it in increments. So you'll start with 1 shot, and then the next day you'll do a shot. Maybe for a week you'll do 1 shot, and then the second week you do 2 shots, maybe going back between 1 shot and 2 shots, and then you keep increasing slowly. Some people get up to, you know, 20 shots of this stuff, which is considerable. It's not particularly easy to drink, but it's really good for you, and you feel it coursing through your body. There's a lot of benefits to it. So it's one of those things that you try it once and you can feel the difference. You see it in your skin, you see it in your eyes, and stuff like that. So anyway, I think that's all there is. So I'll leave you with the shot. Bye.